Hello, this is J.N.S, and today we are doing a psychoanalysis on a man who has 7 baby mamas with 7 children, and he openly states that he does not take care of none of them, nor will he be forced to. We want to break this phenomenon down because it's actually not anything new. It's a running stereotype, unfortunately. So to see someone be honest and open, we need to break this phenomenon down. So I have a message for you ladies about this. So let's review the video and then we'll get back to the psychoanalysis.
You calling me a deadbeat because I tell them I was being irresponsible, yet not wearing protection. But I always tell these women that I got pregnant that I do not want to be a father to these children, and I offer to pay for the abortion. Majority of times they'll either take the abortion or they'll take a plan B, but only these 7 have kept these children. But the crazy thing about it is they want me to be responsible for some children I told them I did not want. So for some years now, some of them been trying to get in contact with me, access denied, because I don't really know why you trying to get in contact with me. I done told you I did not want them kids. So don't expect me to be responsible financially, emotional, spiritually, mentally, or physically with some kids I do not want. And I don't give a fuck what nobody think about it. You're not going to force children up on me. Yeah, we both made the decision to lay down and have intercourse. We both was irresponsible about the decisions we made that night. Yeah, I could have pulled out, but I didn't. And I ain't care to pull out because I'm not the one that's going to have to carry a baby for 9 months. It's the woman. In my opinion, women should be more careful on who they sleep with, because you're going to be like, one of my baby mamas trying to find me so I can financially support a kid I done told her or them I did not want. Another thing is, these just jump offs. These the type of women that I ain't even had to do nothing for. The bare minimum, but they gave me access to their body, and they think I want to be a father to a child for one of them? Like, I don't even have no type of love for these women. How do they expect me to love these children? Before y'all say, oh, he irresponsible, he a deadbeat, he don't take accountability. Yeah, I do. I just don't give a fuck. You ain't gonna force these children on me when I told you I ain't want them. Yeah, I can offer to pay for abortion, but at what point can I force a woman to go get an abortion? I cannot. A woman say, my body, my choice, but
So we watched it. That was quite honest. That was quite obnoxious. But we needed to see up front, because the black women, we've been saying this shit for years now, that a lot of these niggas didn't want these babies, and you women are not playing pussy politics right, pussy management right, and you're getting yourself got in this system of pimp-archy which is in the black community, which is a failed patriarchy. We've told you women what could happen, what to look out for, and it all fell on deaf ears because you was doing what? Being male identified. So the biggest thing that I want you to notice is that he said he didn't have to do anything for these black women's, and they gave their woman, maybe some of them not black, maybe some may be Latino or white, but I'm gonna go out on the limb and fucking say that these women are most likely black, at least majority of them. And that's really the worst thing you can do as a woman, is to extend life and immortality to a man who does not deserve it or who hasn't done anything to deserve it. So even he knows subconsciously, and this is not the first time I've heard black men talk like this. I've heard black men multiple times say, I didn't have to do nothing. I don't have to bring nothing to the table. She willing, she desperate. You know, this is some bum bitch shit. You know, and I know people who have been caught in situations like this, who have extended immortality to a man through children, extending his legacy, and they don't bring nothing to the table. They don't have no job. They don't have no money. They don't have no skill set. They didn't have any intentions of marriage. They're not in a committed relationship. Now you just walking around pregnant trying to force this baby on a nigga that didn't want you in the first place. Now you got karmic debt. Now you got soul ties. Now you done got these children caught up in a motherfucking soul trap. We don't want to get into that. That may be a little too deep for y'all. But now these children is out here walking around with a cursed fucking bloodline because because they were conceived in some nonsense. They were conceived just willy-nilly. No one planned them. No one really wanted them. The mother, she's just going along to get along, because she has to play the role of mothering, even though she didn't want it. She wasn't planning on doing it. So now you done cause more heartache, more nonsense. And to be honest, Black woman, I've been telling you the things we need to do in this community to usher in your own empowerment and to usher in infrastructure for yourself. And you refuse to do it because you have been male identified. Now, the women that will even get themselves in a situation like this, they have very low self-esteem. And to be honest, we see this rate, I think it went down to 69%, but it was 72%, of these single baby mama shit. It might have went down to 69%. But this destroys generations of children. It really does. When women get caught up in these situations like this, especially when the man is up front, a lot of this is cultural rearing in terms of not teaching these young girls what sex can mean, what love is, how to value yourself, what confidence is, what pussy management is, what pussy politics is. These women need to be learning that in their teens, early teens, by the elder women, by the queen mothers in this community. But no, these queen mothers set these young ass women to get got because they male identified and they got played out of their pussy, so they don't give a shit about the next generation of girls. So they don't teach them nothing about life and about niggas. So these women grow up, get got, they think that sex equals love, or that sex equals a relationship, or that is some sort of token. And women should not be taught that. Women should not be taught sex could just mean a nigga just trying to bust off and just move on to the next thing. Women need to value their wombs. Now, I always teach about the spiritual sexuality aspect and how we should raise our vibration as community to even get there, but we are nowhere near the level of where we need to be in order to see sexuality through a spiritual lens, moving it from the base chakra, the root chakra, all the way up into the crown chakra. We are not there yet, so I understand that. So I might have to scale back on my Tantra series for the Black American, because to be honest, I don't think that your vibration is at that level to handle what I have to say without you thinking in the gutter. Now, sex can be a very powerful thing. There's nothing absolutely wrong with sex. So I don't think we should teach our children, hey, if you have sex, you're going to end up a single mother and these men are going to play you. I don't think we should be doing it like that. I think that we should be teaching these women the value of confidence, the value of their womb, the value of their vaginas, and as well as self-pleasure, sexuality in the sense that is not rooted in the base chakra, but also teaching them contraceptive methods, certain herbs that prevent pregnancy, and implementation of fertilized egg. We need to be teaching these young girls about those herbs. We need to be teaching them about how to track their ovulation, track their cycles. We need to teach these women to be in tune with themselves, because to be honest, this is the work of Black women. How you raise these girls, how you teach these girls the culture in the Black community. That stuff, who determines the culture in the community? The Black women. The women determine, okay, what's acceptable in this community? Is having 7 baby mamas with 7 kids acceptable? No, that's trash ass gutter behavior. It should not be allowed in any culture. And then he's refused. 7 kids obviously that's not the issue. He literally is breeding broken homes. He's literally going around the community being a nuisance, having sex with different women without protection, not even taking no neem, not even getting a vasectomy, whatever that thing is where they can get something taken care of down there so that they won't have kids. He's not doing none of that. He's just willy-nilly, and then say, oh, you're pregnant now. I don't want this kid. I don't want to be a father, but you laid down with her. So again, y'all want this patriarchy so bad. You want to lead this Black woman so bad, but look at your behavior. How is that leadership behavior? A nigga like that could not even get even a 10 feet next to me. I'm like, why would y'all even sleep with somebody like that? What was you thinking? Where was your motherfucking antennas where you thought it was okay to spread your goddamn legs up into a nigga like that? Are you kidding me? The wretchedness, the low vibration just oozing. I don't even feel like doing this video no more. It's too, I can't, my consciousness can't even take it. It's too low. And now I'm trying to help this goddamn community. See, I'm going off the rails because this is the type of shit that pisses Kalima off. This type of shit right here, where you got a bunch of women in this black community that is refusing to see their value, that is refusing to sit up, to come together and say, you know what, we got some cultural problems and we need to actually reverse some of this shit, or we gonna have to just we gonna have to detonate this shit. We gonna have to detonate this kind of culture. Seriously, detonate. We have to raise the vibration so high where a nigga like this can't even come around the black community, like, and even think it's okay. They need to be completely shunned by the men and the women. There's no excuse for this type of behavior. No excuse whatsoever. The shit is just so ridiculous. Now, he's creating these broken homes all over the place, and these kids grow up without their father, grow up, you know, they got 7 siblings all over the damn city, you know, and they not have and the burden is all on the woman. And this woman did not want these kids, and he just said they were jump offs. They weren't women that, you know, had they shit together. So these women is bringing more curses, generational curses into the world. Let's be clear. Now these kids got to grow up with the damage and the nonsense, and what they most likely, to be honest, gonna grow up to not be shit. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Most of these kids are gonna grow up to be average Joe Smo. Some of them gonna be causing some more ruckus in the damn community. So no, I don't have any sympathy for this. But I do want to bring a message of love. I'm gonna raise my vibration and bring a message of love with this to the black woman. Because this black woman, you out here getting played out of your ass for about 30, 40 years. You got all this rap music. It's calling you a bitch and a hoe. You didn't do nothing about that. You let them niggas go to Congress to literally fight for the right to call you bitches and hoes in the music, and to call for the killing of other black men in the music, and selling drugs to the black community in the music. You allowed that, black woman. Why didn't you say, you know what, I will detonate this community if this community cannot honor and respect itself and honor high cultural values? No, nobody should be glorifying selling no drugs to people in their community. No, nobody should be glorifying calling their women hoes and bitches, and they gonna skeet on them and they gonna do all this. Why would you allow that? Why is you still sleeping with niggas that do that to you? Why are you not calling them out? Why are you not calling them out? And this is the type of man that's supposed to lead you, black woman. This is the type of man that you want to lead you. You sit up there on the internet and be pick-me's all day. Sit up on the internet and pander to black men all day. And this is what you get. This is what you'll get: a 72% out of wedlock rate, 39% marriage rate. And don't nobody think, okay, let's see. Let me get with some other black women and talk and see what we need to do in this community. Because to be honest, most of y'all are not going to divest. Let's be real. A lot of black women are not even attracted to other races outside their own. So I understand that. I don't judge that. A lot of you are going to still be within your community. And that is actually a biological hardwiring. And the reason why is because it's social constructs around that regarding the cultural aspects of what's acceptable in terms of who to date. That goes for every race. But then more importantly, there's some biological hardwiring there that gets overlooked. So I don't expect every black woman to say, you know what, I'm just going to leave the black community behind, because most are not. About only 12% will. So then if you're still in your black community, why the fuck you not doing nothing to change this culture? Do you like it? Do you feel so low about yourself that you think you deserve that? Do you feel so wretched and so male identified that you just let this black man just lead you off a motherfucking cliff? Because 72%, 69% out of wedlock rate is ridiculous. 39% marriage rate, ridiculous. So How is this black man off the hook for all of that? What excuses do you have? What is it? White supremacy? The white man made him do it. The white man made this black man leave his 7 children, breed 7 kids with 7 different baby mamas, and then the white man made him abandon all these children too. Is that your excuse? Because that's what you love to tell me, black woman, is that it was white supremacy. This is what this black man is using to hoodwink y'all asses if y'all haven't caught on. I don't care what they say. I don't care if they come at me or whatever, because I have the proof of everything they've ever done for 100,000 years. See, with me is I go back and research and study these creatures, because I knew something's wrong with the way that we are on the bottom like this. Something's not right about it. So I had to really study to see what the fuck went wrong. So I don't care what black men say. They say, oh, she hates me. I don't hate black men. But I'm also a truth teller. And I know for a fact that he's been using this notion of white supremacy as a crutch to not take responsibility and to not do what he's supposed to be doing, to not even be fighting that system. If you hear black people talk about white supremacy so much, but outside of a small group of us, and there is a small group of us, and it's a small group of black men too, that are actively doing what they can do to find ways to get up out of this system, to fight this system, and to fight white supremacy, and to empower themselves. Even if they're not worried about what white supremacists are doing, they still doing something to put themselves in a power position. What you see is that the majority of black men do not care about that shit. I'm telling you. Like, if you start to go and talk about implementing your own infrastructures and building something, the majority of them won't care. Even if you say, hey, even if you have a plan laid out, they do not care. They'll deny it. They'll tell you there is no white supremacy, that there's nothing wrong. And then in the next same breath, when you want to hold them accountable, they go to, well, they don't allow us to do it. They told us we can't do it. They said we're not allowed. You won't let me lead. And they put us out the house. They put me out the house, and all this crazy nonsense. How somebody put a man out of the house? Then nobody hold no gun to your head and put you out no goddamn house. The way they be talking, somebody came inside the house and with a gun and said they put the black man out the house. And to hear you black women repeat the same thing, they put the black man out the house, like a damn mammy. And these niggas, like, if you used to go back and study what actually happened during the 60s and look at them interviews, and it will tell you, the women will tell you that the man just left. That they had no provisions to take care of them children, so they got on welfare and all this. But we don't even tell that story, right? We don't even get into like the policies itself. Like, we can go back and study those policies and what was passed. There was no putting no man out no house. The bills are right there. The stuff that passed, we can go back in time. There's interviews about this stuff. There's reports on it. There's a bunch of stuff that we can go back in time and actually bring it to life and study it and see, okay, did the black woman put the black man out the house? No, that's not true. And is male identified as this black woman is? That don't even sound believable. I know for a fact this black woman ain't put y'all out the house because she let y'all stay in her Section 8 house today. She letting you live off of her today. She still put, and you, like he said, I gave the bare minimum. We heard this nigga say, I gave the bare minimum. Bare minimum, and these women still bore my children. I mean, that goes to show you that this black woman is accepting the bare minimum. And then it didn't tell the other women that we gotta let y'all lead, that we gotta submit, and then this is the same nigga I bet was listening to Kevin Samuels. I guarantee you this is the same nigga that was listening to Kevin Samuels and walking around like he's some type of god, but wretched and a demon inside. No type of God consciousness. Who in their right mind will go and fuck a bunch of women and then pay for all of their abortions or paying to kill kids, or tell them I can't be around if you know, and he's supposed to be high value and this is who he's supposed to submit to over my motherfucking dead body? Hell no. A nigga like that couldn't lead me to a damn water fountain. let alone, come on, are you kidding me? And this black woman, she relies on men like this to be her saving grace and redemption. I don't know what's wrong with you women. I really don't know what's wrong with, what the hell is wrong with you. But somebody need to be checking you too, because you're allowing this. A man will only do what you allow them to do. You say whether or not you're going to be a baby mama, whether or not you're going to be putting up with nonsense, whether or not you're going to be putting up with a pimp-archy and cultural bullshit. You can determine whether or not, I'm telling you, if you put a moratorium on this trash ass music that's calling for the death of black men, that's talking about selling drugs, and that's talking about women are hoes as bitches, this is not like, y'all don't see the correlation between the music and even the prison system, where they got in the contracts about where they got in the contracts about the privatization of the prison system, and the correlation between the stocks, investments, and that music. It's a pipeline between it. I'm sure it's a correlation between it. So now you got a self-destructive culture where they're literally fighting to be at the bottom. So if you were to come up and take a stance and say, you know what, this music gotta go. You know what, this baby mama shit gotta go. This 39% marriage rate gotta go. We need arranged marriage. We need this. Yes, you're gonna get pushback. You're gonna get pushback, but you're also gonna get a small amount of black Americans who will be on board with it. You're gonna get people who will be on board with it, men and women, and you're just gonna have to build with them, because to be honest, people like this type of nigga, you don't want them. They can't even be redeemed. You don't want them nowhere near your cultural apparatuses, your cultural building. So this is what the patriarchy, pimp-archy will get you. We live in a patriarchy, pimp-archy, which means that the males have to answer to other males. And in return, these males demand certain things of women. Why not bring you nothing to the table? They demand that you submit. They demand that you let them lead, but they don't have any infrastructure of their own, because they're living in the white man structure, and they go to the white man for their sustenance, jobs, food, clothing, education. They don't build anything for themselves, but yet they want you to play the role of in the patriarchy, which is the woman be dominated, but you don't get shit out of that. You're not getting nothing out of that if these men don't even have an infrastructure for themselves. So what do you get out of that? Nothing. You just being pimped. And they okay with that. They don't want you to notice. They don't want you to ever. That's why a lot of black men, they respect me, but they don't like me. And you notice nobody really challenges me. A lot of these black men, some of them secretly can't even stand my guts. But they also know what I'm saying is the truth. They can't refute it. These men do not have an infrastructure of their own. They don't. They are totally, completely dominated by this white man. And what they want is for black women to never bring that up, and to never focus on it, and to never even talk about it. Because if you start thinking like, okay, so why is you trying to make me submit to y'all collectively? Why are you trying to put me in a box as a woman? But you're not being put in a box as a man. If I got to do all this as a woman, A, B, C, D, don't you need to be building your own infrastructures? Don't you need to have a community for me that is completely empowered? Don't you need to get control of this infrastructure? Don't you need to start looking at this white man and demanding your respect back? Don't you need to be fighting white supremacy? Don't you need to be building your own schools, building your own medical institutions, building your own grocery stores, growing your own food, getting your own water, taking control of this water system, this irrigation system? Don't you need to be doing that before you demand all this stuff out of women? Because the women will come if the men are doing what they're supposed to do. If you're in a real position of a boss, these women gonna come. Now, collectively, they are not. Maybe individually, you'll have some. They got boss energy, and that will get women to be more docile, because they realize they're actually with a leader, with a real goddamn man. But these people, this men's, that's why I was like, damn, these black women don't know how to really get their talking points right, get their mouthpiece right, because there's no way y'all should be letting niggas like Kevin Samuels and all these niggas running around just dog you, just bash you into oblivion. You ain't doing this right, you're not doing this, you that. Nigga, have you ever thought to ask why? Where's this? What are you doing that's not right? What the hell are you doing? Because you, from what I see, you answering to a whole nother man. You living in a whole nother man's patriarchy. So, what are you doing? That's so glorious and grand in this goddamn community. I don't see my own grocery stores. I don't see my own hospitals that's black owned. I don't even see damn laundromats. I don't even see damn near some restaurants that's black owned. You see some, but I'm inculcated in Black American community where we kind of all have a code and where we do look out for one another and where building is very important to us. But once, that's just my little small insular group. Once I leave out of that, I'm shocked, to be honest, at some of the stuff I hear black men say. Because again, the little group that I like, the people that I respect, and the little small little group that we got, and there's not many, but like even people in the reparation space, you will see those black men actually take care of their kids, get married, start businesses, do what they have to do to provide for themselves and their family and help their community, support black business, support one another. You will see Black Americans, but it's a small little group. And to be honest, I'm always around that type of consciousness. So when I leave it, when I get out into the broader community and start interacting with the broader community, I'm like, oh my gosh, what the fuck? And I'm just like shocked again. I'm like, damn, let me, you know, do a whole 360 on my approach to this work. Because to be honest, I am always around certain people that just care about their own empowerment. Even Black American men who say, you know what, I take responsibility for my children. They love being fathers. Only the men that I'm surrounded by, I'm talking about them. They love being surrounded by their kids. But that's a very small inculcated group. Then you got some of these indigenous Black American men who are matriarchal. And they take care of their children and got wives. So to be honest, when I leave that little small groups and I stop interacting in those silos and then come out to the broader Black American community and I see the music and I see stories like this and I'm seeing baby mama shit and I'm honestly, it's like so foreign to me because I'm like, I couldn't see myself just, because I can't see myself just condoning that kind of culture and that kind of behavior. So it is kind of like a mind fuck, because you got certain people in this community that do the right thing, and you got others in this community that just don't give a shit. So, Black woman, they don't want you to know, they don't want you pointing that out because it allows them off the hook. They get to bring the bare, they don't want, so back to my point, they don't want the Black woman. And again, this is not all Black men, but they don't want the Black woman to really be focusing on how they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing as men. And that is getting themselves in a position of power, getting themselves in a position where they can control their own sustenance and autonomy and try and doing things for this community. If you want to be patriarchy, your level and advancement and the success of that patriarchy is determined by how the women and the children are treated in their livelihoods and your ability to obtain resources and your ability to maintain them. So, you're not able to do that. So right now we're living in a pimp-archy. We're living in a failed patriarchy. This is not a matriarchy at all because there's no egalitarian structures. There's no processes. There's no planning or organization abilities within this system that we see. So it can't be a matriarchy because again, these are high patriarchy and matriarchy. Those are actual social structures. They have functionalism embedded within them. They have things that you can point to and say, hey, this is what makes a good patriarchy. This is what makes a good matriarchy. So they have functionalism in them that denotes, okay, this is a matriarchal society. This is a patriarchal society. A bunch of baby mamas running around with children everywhere is not a matriarchal society. It's just not. If you want to know what a matriarchal society is, I broke it down in the Queen Mothership Part 2, the enterprise architecture. That is what a matriarchy looks like. The way I have built that system out, the processes around it, the everything that you look, when you will see how we procure resources, how we do it through the lens of a matriarchal egalitarian system. You still have processes and structures that must be built, and you still have you still have structures and processes that must be built within a matriarchy. It's not just a bunch of women with no motherfucking man in the house off of welfare and all that. That ain't no damn matriarchy. Are you kidding me? And you could study the history of matriarchies. Like, it's not even like that never existed all throughout Africa and all throughout the Americas. Like, you do have matriarchies that existed since pre-colonial, since time immemorial. So it's not like what you see today is not even comparable to an actual matriarchy in Africa or in Americas. It's not even comparable. Again, this is just bullshit. This is just niggas being this is just niggas dealing with white supremacy and dealing with their hegemonic system being on top of them and dealing with inequality. So it's a real thing. I do have compassion for that, but I also know that humans have agency. Humans have agency and the ability to do marvelous things if they put their mind to it. So I don't necessarily want to give that crutch of white supremacy all the time, because it's like, we are totally capable of building our own infrastructures. I don't care what nobody say, even if that meant death, even if it meant death. So the black woman, start pointing that out. Start pointing it out. Like, okay, if I got to do A, B, and C, and to be honest, the way the black man can get out of that pressure is to just do a matriarchal egalitarian system. It will be so easy for them and so much better for the whole entire community if they just did a matriarchal egalitarian system. Because they don't have the resources anyway. So in matriarchy systems, resources of men become less important. They do. Their skills become important. Their fatherhood skills become very important, because women, they would do a lot more planning and stuff. They do a lot more building. So men are expected to be more involved in children's lives. But my thing is, how is that a bad thing? But this black man is so hung on, like, I have to have what the white man has, which is a patriarchy, which was a system where his woman is doing this, and I want to emulate that system so bad. And that's what's kicking y'all in the ass. And y'all just gonna have to learn that the hard way. Y'all gonna have to learn that the hard way. You don't just go from 15,000 years of a matriarchy and then the men overthrew it. Black men overthrew the Queen Mothership. They overthrew the matriarchy systems. And next thing you know, we all fucked up in the game. And they don't ever want nobody to point that out. They don't want nobody to know about it, about what happened, what truly happened, and what truly got us enslaved, and what was happening with black women and the sex trafficking in Africa. Nobody want to wake that up because they're embarrassed about it. Just like don't nobody want, that's how black women, they don't ever want to hold black men accountable for the things they need to be doing if they want a patriarchy. If they really want a patriarchy, then they're going to have to really overhaul the whole system in order to get that level of respect that they think they want and that they think they need. If they really are so hell-bent on emulating a Western patriarchy, they're going to have to do what the white man did to get it. That's just common sense. You have to be in control of your resources and your sustenance to get women to follow you. That's the only way you're going to do it. But if you're living in another man's system and you don't bring anything of value of the table, and you don't bring that same apparatus to the table that he brings, you're not going to get women to follow you. Maybe individually, but collectively, you're going to have bullshit like this. You're going to have 7 baby mamas, 7 children everywhere, women that is weak, women that don't value themselves, that don't know shit, that's going to let you get them pregnant, and you ain't going to want to take care of the baby. You don't want to marry the woman. She don't want to do right by her own womb. And now you get nonsense like this. You get a 39% marriage rate. You get 35% chance of getting killed black woman by your own partners. You get a 60% chance. You get a 60% chance of being sexually assaulted in your own communities. This is not this stuff right here. I mean, sometimes it makes me question even doing the work that I do. That's why I say I'm taking a good 60 Black Americans. 60. All I need is like 20 to 60 Black Americans, and we just gonna live off grid. We doing our own thing, and y'all can have this, because this right here is stuff I can't be associated with. I love Black Americans to death, and I have held myself back in a lot of ways trying to come back and help this community. and sometimes I feel like it's going to be in vain because, again, you can't be honest with nobody in this community. The first critique you give, or the first truth you give, the black man says, "Oh, you hate me. Oh, you what they say, you're a feminist. Oh, you're a divester. Oh, you're bashing me. Oh, you're a mammy. Oh, they'll tell you these things to try to get you to shut up. Or you're bitter. Oh, you're damaged." When it's the truth. It's like that. These are mechanisms to get women to be quiet. That's how you've been being shamed into being quiet about how this culture is looking, how this community is looking, how the community treats the women. You get shamed and be called, "Oh, well, that's feminist talking points." How is that a feminist talking point? You don't run the infrastructure. What are you going to do to get in power? What are you going to do? What do you want? You need the women to help you do it? Just say that. Just say you're used to a matriarchal egalitarian system. That's in your epigenetics. Just say that. But trying to shame the woman into quietness so that you can get off the hook and that we don't ever acknowledge that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing either. No, it don't work that way. I don't give a damn. I broke down the psychology of that. They throw that shit out to me all the time, and I'm like, I don't give a damn, because disprove it. Disprove what I said. Disprove what I said. But they can't. So then it's just like they'll start throwing names at you. "Oh, you're a mammy. Oh, you're probably, no man's gonna ever get married to you." I don't give a shit about that, because that if that means I gotta act like y'all, if I have to be quiet and act like I don't see what the hell I'm seeing in my community in order to get liked or to be acceptable, then that is why this community looks the way it looks. This is why this black woman is getting played out her ass. She's getting played out her ass because she won't stand up for herself, and she won't voice her opinions on how a lot of this stuff in this community is making her image, is making her value go down, because she's allowing too much fuckery in her community. She's allowing baby mama stuff in her community. She's allowing horrific music on the air that's talking about killing and calling her a bitch and a hoe. She's allowing this black man to always use white supremacy to his advantage. Every little thing that he gets done wrong, or everything that he's not doing, is always the white man's fault or the black woman's fault. It's always white supremacy's fault. And to be honest, black women cannot use that same thing as an excuse when it comes to her weight, when it comes to the things that she may be falling short on. She can't sit and use that white supremacy. White supremacy is doing this. White supremacy caused this for us. You don't hear black women talking like that. White supremacy, dude. Like, no, I wish we could use that as a crutch. If you use it, the black community is using that as a crutch to not take control over their own autonomy, because, to be honest, they too scared. They're not about that life, and they're not about to stand up. That's what's really this about. That's why I roll with a small group of people. That's why I'm like, I roll with people that just don't give a fuck. That's like, we ready to build, like, men and women, because I don't have a problem with males or women. I don't have a problem with the man species or the woman species, but I'm not about to sit up here and lie to y'all either. Y'all want somebody to just lie, to coach your ego, to pander to your ego, and that is a very low vibration to operate from, where you require another human to coax you and pander to you and not keep it real and tell you the truth, to put you in a better position. Telling you the truth can actually free you, but you don't want nobody to tell you the truth. You just want us to gloss over it, blame everything on this white man or the black woman, and then that's just it. You want everybody to blame everything on, as long as this black woman is never acknowledging what you do, then you good. But you get to walk around this community and promote Tommy Sotomayor, and promote the manosphere, and promote incels, and promote passport bros, and promote Kevin Samuels, promote all these people in the community that bash black women, that tear black women up to pieces, while you don't have it, while you're not focused on building any infrastructure for yourself. You're not focused on competing with white males, Asian males, Indian males, Latina males. You're not focusing on competing with males. You're focusing on bashing your own woman. But then when she says, hold up, what are you doing? What? Why do we see 7 baby mamas with 7 kids? And why is this a running stereotype? Why are you in rap music, drill music, talking about you killing other black men and you calling women bitches and hoes. Why are you not building up your infrastructure? Why you sell out your culture on a dime every chance you get? You sign these record labels and they require you to do it. Then you say it's the record label's fault. The record labels need to be. Did nobody tell you to? Did nobody hold a gun to your head and tell you to rap them crazy ass lyrics? You wanted to. You sold your culture out. You sold your soul out. We talk about boycotting the NBA and the NFL. Nobody ever does it. We know that they nothing but $40 million slaves and all this nonsense. Do you see black men going hard at the NFL and the NBA, boycotting it, saying we are going to start our own? What you see too, Ice Cube and that other guy that ended up getting bought out. But Ice Cube is the only one. But my thing is, where is the black versions of the NBA and the NFL? If you where's the footwork towards even trying to get a hold of your own labels, start your own, just go independent, just get away from all of this matrix shit. Why don't we see you fighting hard to get independent on everything that you do? But when we call that out, we are feminists, we are mammies, we are bitter. And to be honest, that's how you get black women to be quiet. And I'm telling you now that it is facing a dark night of the soul that truly gets you to the next catalyst of life, to the next stage in life and soul evolution, is when you can face the dark within. You have to face your own shit. You cannot just keep on using excuses and trying to get black women to be quiet about it so that you don't ever look at your own shit. You look at everybody else's shit but your own. You got everything to say about black women, about every other group of people on this planet. But when somebody starts to look at you, now they white supremacists. They feminists. They trying to bash me. They hate men. All this nonsense. And I'm like, man, if y'all truly wanted to be patriarchs and y'all truly wanted to be in power, you're going to have to start somewhere. And it is not focusing on it is not tearing down your own women and trying to get the black woman to lower her standards. Why do you want her to lower her standards so bad? That's another question she don't ask. Is it because you fear you can't measure up? Why is it like, even when you listen to some of those males that was going viral, they always wanted women to feel bad about themselves. They always wanted women to think lower about themselves and to accept certain bare minimum. Like this guy was saying, she accepted the bare minimum. I didn't have to do nothing for her. Is it because you know that you don't own the infrastructures? Is it because you want her to settle? Is it because you need to convince her to not want what patriarchs actually bring to the table? So you want to have a patriarchy, but you don't want to do the work to actually get the patriarchy. You don't want to do any of the work to get it. You want to put the cart before the horse. If you want, even if all 40 million black women submitted to you today and did what you wanted, they was friendly, they was feminine, they was submissive, they would get raw dogged. They would get fucked out of their life with that kind of methodology, because you have nothing they don't benefit from that. What incentive is there if you are answering to a whole nother man's patriarchy? What incentive is it? What do they get out of that? What do they get out of that? And then, to be honest, that's what this shit is all about. Lower your standards for a good brother. But then these brothers is not bringing, they doing this shit. They telling you that they don't want children. They got 7 kids with 7 baby mamas running around here. 3 baby mamas, 4 baby mamas. They don't want to get married. They don't want to provide. They want to go 50-50 on everything. So these men want 50-50, but then they want the benefits of a patriarchy. They're not willing to do what it takes to get that patriarchy. People did a lot of work to build this wicked system. Now we all are in it. We all have found ways to survive in it. But there has been a lot of sacrifice, a lot of blood sacrifice, a lot of satanic ritual, a lot of all types of horrific shit, warfare, colonialism, to get that level of power. A lot of dark stuff. Now, to be honest, they learned it from someone. They learned we don't want to go there. But I'll just say this. When black men and when black people had their own empires, don't think they weren't doing the same thing. they were doing the exact same thing. And that's what a lot of black women, they love to say, well, we weren't evil like that. We didn't do nothing like that. We're not like that white man because we would never do the stuff that he did. Again, this is what not studying your history gets you. You want to romanticize Africa and say Africa's the cradle of civilization, have all the empires. They taught us civilization. They have all these cultures. They did all these things. Okay, yeah, that may be true. But did you really study what they was doing in them empires? I'm talking about pre-colonial, not before the white man stepped in. Have you ever decided, okay, you know what, let me look and see. I'm telling you, they were doing the same shit. Slavery, cutting niggas' heads off, and feudalism. Where do you think feudalism come from? That's from black men. That's from black people. Who do you think created that? All types of sex trafficking, all types of all same magic systems that you see that's using to be in power. They were using the same magic systems, the same esoteric schools of thoughts, the same gutter shit that you have to do to get in power, conquering motherfuckers, selling tribes. It was doing all that. It's no difference. It's human nature. It's a part of human nature. You can, of course, raise your vibration and build society. That's a lot of that patriarchy shit, too. Because in matriarchal egalitarian societies, yeah, the women can get real dark. It can get real dark in terms of getting power. But at least the focus is a lot more on equity than obtaining resources. In the patriarchy, you have to obtain resources. And it requires more brute force than in the matriarchy egalitarian systems. So, you know, that's what you have. But to be honest, putting that cart before the horse, black man, and demanding, oh, this woman need to do that. She ain't letting me lead. She not letting me. But you ain't doing shit to get to emulate the patriarchy that you want. That's gonna fuck you up. That's why I keep saying, like, as much as I keep telling y'all, you know, I keep telling you, black men, that if you really want that patriarchy, you're gonna have to do a lot more work, if you want women to just get on board with it. But right now, there's really just no incentive. There's no incentive. A 39% marriage rate. 60% sexual assault rate. 72% out of wedlock rate. Single baby mama shit. That's not much of an incentive. And y'all can say, well, white people gave you this talking point. I'm from the hood. I know what the fuck I grew up seeing. I've seen stories like this. I've seen worse stories like this. People in my own family. I know a motherfucker in my family. I'm embarrassed to say who this person is and how I'm related to him. This motherfucker got 10 kids with 10 different women. Never took care of none of them motherfucking kids. None of them. 10 women, 10 different, 10 babies. Worse than this. In my own motherfucking family. Like, you're not gonna tell me that what I didn't see. Like, I know what I saw. I seen niggas, 3 kids, 3 different baby mamas, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. I've seen this shit my whole life. I've seen this. I lived it. My dad didn't pull that shit. I had to say. You can talk to my dad right now to this day. My dad will tell you. My biological dad will tell you. He didn't play that. That was a no-go. He was very big on generational curses and knowing the value of bringing a child into this world. He was very. That's the only. To be honest, if there was any lesson that I ever learned from him, that was it. Why you don't think I have no kids now? My dad was very strict on that. He said you have to be careful who you have children with. You cannot mix your bloodline with everybody. You cannot mix your bloodline with everybody or anybody. You have to be careful who you have children with. That's what he used to say to me growing up. Because I told you I was adopted, but my adoption was open off the books. So that just means that even though I was adopted at 9 years old, I always knew who my parents were. My biological dad and my mom. I got weekly visits with them every week. And honestly, sometimes multiple times out of the week. In the summers, I was able to spend weeks at a time with my mom. But for my whole life, I've always saw my parents. Unless when my dad went back to Alabama or some shit. we still talk on the phone. But growing up, my dad definitely was drilling that in my head. He would always say, watch who you have children with. So he only got one woman, which is my mom, and all the children is by her. He only got 2 kids. But I know what I saw growing up. This is not shocking to us. Why if this is so rare, why is it not shocking to the average Black American? That video of him talking like that. That video of him talking like that, that's actual stereotype. So don't try to say, oh, white people is projecting all of that onto us. No, I'm very well inculcated in my culture. I'm very well inculcated in Black American culture. Even though I hang with people that are just like-minded like me, that's focused on empowerment and building, that actually just want to see themselves living a thriving life. When I step out and interact with the broader community, yeah, I'm very much in tune. I always keep my ears close to what's going on in the Black community, good or bad, you know. And for the most part, I bring a lot of love to the table. I bring a lot of upliftment of the community. All of my work, all of my books, a lot of the things that I do, it's about upliftment. It's about really, really trying to raise the self-esteem of myself as well as those in the community. And it's a lot of cultural building, cultural shifting that I try to do. It doesn't mean that I have the following or that I have people that are listening. It doesn't matter, but I know I did my part. And I know I didn't give up. However, you know, calling this stuff out is a must. Calling it out and being rough on it and being gutter with it, telling the truth. We got to stop burying our heads in the sand when it comes to this type of stuff. This is an absolute no-go in the Queen Mothership. It's an absolute no-go. Even if we heard one situation of this, one baby mama and a guy says he's not taking care of the kids, you should be completely ostracized from the community. But no, this Black woman, she does not stand up for herself. She's made it so easy for the Black man to run all over her. She has put a very low value on her womb, and now she's getting played. Now she has to deal with stuff like this. Even when you see, you know, even it was glamorized with the Future and Sierra situation. Damn, he got 7 baby mamas and 7 kids too. And then when she decided to course correct and get her a Russell Simmons, a good guy, all the Black men attacked her because they wanted her to keep her standards low, and they didn't want the rest of the Black women to see that they can actually course correct and they don't actually have to settle for baby mamas and men with 6 kids and 3 kids. They actually don't need to entertain it at all. They shouldn't go near a nigga like that, even with 1 kid. If he ain't have sense enough, because I'm telling you, if they don't have sense enough to structure the way they bring a child into this world, if they can't even do that right, you really don't need to be fucking with them, Black woman. Even if it's just 1 baby mama, 2 baby mama, unless they really course corrected, if they've done the work on themselves to learn from that situation, they just got 1 baby mama and they said, you know what, the next chick I get with, I'm going to get married and I'm going to do right by her and I'm going to take care of my kid. I'm going to take care of my responsibility and I'm going to love on my kid and, you know, and build, you know, upon that structure. If you see a situation like that, okay, I understand that. But if you see a man talking like, I didn't want the baby mama, I didn't want her, she was a jump off, talking like how this guy is talking, you don't need to be extending immortality to them. You just don't. And when I tell the Black woman to implement the Queen Mothership by building infrastructure of sisters so that the next generation of women can stay clear of demons like this, you say no. The Black woman says she wants what the dominant society has. You need to stay clear of demons like this. When I tell her that, she don't want to listen. It's white people. Everything that y'all got to say when it comes to any sort of accountability on both sides, whether it's the men or the women, it's always a default. It's always someone else's fault. And to be honest, this type of man right here, they're just wretched. You know, I created a structure that Black women and Black men can benefit from by building their own networks, by building safety nets to avoid shit like this. Is anybody going to implement it one day? Probably not. But Just know that it's already built. And then what y'all like to do is say, oh, you think you got a plan, or you think you knew. Y'all don't know what somebody done put, the work that they put in and they have done. But again, this black woman refuses to build out the systems that to build anything for herself. It's not even like she's not even, it's not about doing it for another man or even doing it for the community. She won't even build anything for herself. She won't. So that's why, and then, you see like this hegemonic system on top of us where I don't even know if I should be going there, because, I try to have a lot of compassion. I do have a lot of compassion in my heart for what we have went through as a people. So I don't want to just be like, just dogging y'all. That's not the point of this video. My point is to dog that nigga though. That nigga, that 7 baby mamas and that 7 kids. Oh, trash in my eyes. Trash in my eyes. And a nigga like that is not fit to lead anybody in this community. They're not worthy of respect. They need to be ostracized from this community. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a damn. I'm not extending no mercy or no compassion to a nigga that will curse his children like that, curse these women's wombs like that, and even to the women that will allow it. I think they all need to be shunned. They all need to get out of here. All of them. Because in order to bring this community back to the power and to the level of power that it has to be at, you have to make a lot of sacrifices, and you have to get rid of people like that. You do. You can't build with nothing like that with a situations like that. You can't. You can't build nothing of greatness, of excellence. We're talking about greatness, and we got people like that fucking up the shit, fucking up our building, our nation building. They gotta go. They can't even be involved. Seriously. You can't build nothing like that with a nigga like that. Can you build something of grandness with a nigga like that? Ask yourself that. No, you cannot. So why would you let them be involved in anything you're doing? And it's a lot of people in this community that's like that. Yeah, I'm saying it. No, you can't build with them. You can't. They're gonna fuck your shit up. It will make you look wretched. They will mess your ass up. They will mess the community up. They already messed it up. So, a black man like this, I bet you he was listening to Tommy Sotomayor. I bet you he was doing that. I bet you he was listening to Kevin Samuels. And this is the man that's supposed to be leading. That they talking about, they required this woman to be submissive and all this stuff. Oh, look at what being male identified gets you, black woman. Look at where it gets you. Look at your community. Look how you treat it in your own community. You can't even really get the mic. You can't even really, you're not respected in your own community. I don't care what they tell you. All the lip service they give you in the world. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is how you living. The proof is how they treating you. 7 mamas, 7 babies, 7 robot toys, 7 robot toys. They got life in them, these babies, but they caught up in the soul trading time loop now. They have to reverberate the generation curses of this man and the women themselves. So nothing good comes from a situation like this. It's just pure debasement. It's pure debasement. And robot toys, when I say robot toys, I'm talking about, it's a little too complex to explain this, but a lot of humans, they come through, a lot of humans, how do I explain it? Sometimes, when you bear children in a situation like such as this one, where you didn't want the kids, you didn't want anything to do with them, they kind of walking dead, and yes, the children are innocent and they can grow up to be, God knows what. They can grow up to be cure the cancer or whatever, So you may have a situation like that, but for the most part, you curse them to a soul trading time loop, but can't really get into that too much. But sometimes it's better. Sometimes it's better to. Sometimes black women, you have to listen when a man tells you they don't want children. You have to listen when they say they don't want children. You don't need to be fucking them. Once they tell you need, for one, women get their views on children and views on life and approach to life before you even fuck these niggas. I don't see how you letting them inside of you and you don't have a deep conversation about life before you do that. Huh? I mean, and I get people just be fucking, sometimes they get caught up in the moment. Wear the condom. Wear some, take care of that beforehand too. If you know that you don't want to really get to know that person and you're not interested in a conversation with them and you just want to have sex, why you not taking the pre-measurements? Why you not making them wear a condom then? I just was never that girl. I just wasn't, so I'm not judging the women. Maybe you get horny or whatever, you just want to fuck. But it's like, wear a condom, obviously. But for women who really is thinking about something, a relationship with a guy, why you not getting their viewpoints on how they approach child rearing, how they approach life, how they approach building, how they approach manhood? All that stuff you want to know before you even lay down with them. Because if they tell you, I don't want children, I don't want to be a father right now, that's your cue to say, you know what? I have to approach sex differently with this person. I have to approach it differently with this person. Okay? So, unfortunately, Black women, you're going to have to deal with situations like this if you keep being male identified. I don't know what else to tell you. I told you to build that Queen Mothership with me. I told you we can do this shit in less than 10 years. And it just falls on deaf ears. And the Queen Mothership, you just pretty much building your own micro cities. You're using matriarchal egalitarian principles. You're pretty much just building out the matriarchy. A real one, not this bullshit with baby mamas and all that nonsense. We're talking about like real high level shit, like an actual society, that centers women and children so that Black women have a safety net when they need resources, when they get old, when they need jobs, when they need organic food, when they need help with business, when they need policy writing, grant writing, or just sisterhood. The Black woman has to think to herself, I need that for myself. I can benefit from a system like this. You don't benefit from patriarchy right now. You don't benefit from it. So it's like, why aren't you as women saying, I know I got a couple of Black men in here that were raised matriarchal, from especially the indigenous Black American men. You'll have Black American men that will roll with you because some of them are already matriarchal. Literally, they have been raised that way because they knew that they were indigenous the whole time. So you got a whole group of them. And then you got Black American men that can realize they can actually benefit from that system. Like, oh, I don't have much pressure on me to develop resources, but I still have to build. I still have to provide some other skills to this community. But at least I'm not being valued based off of what I got. And at least I get to spend more time with my children. I get to spend more time with my children. Or my duties consist of, a little patrolling the neighborhood, maybe doing something with the food, with the garden, maybe doing something with the hunting and the fishing. And I know we think that we're so, beyond that. We're so beyond that in terms of innovation and where we at today. Yes, but that's true. But we also need to remember the basics of society, which is your food, your clothing, and your shelter. If you can procure that. And then you can build on, obviously, your banking system, your trust funds, your co-ops, your innovations, your technology. You can do that. So everybody has a part to play. But in terms of just the basics, the community gardens, the organic food co-ops, the irrigation, the patrolling, the defense, that stuff at a very basic level, it's still going to be, it's going to deviate very little from what we've done for thousands and thousands of years. When you think about the agriculture, those things pretty much stay constant. Yes, you have more innovative ways to grow your food. You have like hydroponics, you got all types of shit you can do. So I'm not knocking that, but what I'm saying is the very basic things that we need in society. So yes, you have a Black American men that say, you know what? Or even some of you are dating African men. You'll have some that say, shit, I'm from the certain tribe anyways that was matriarchal, so I don't really mind this Queen Mothership matriarchal egalitarian system that I actually can benefit from, that I don't have to work as much, but I have to do other duties with my children. That sound like a good deal to me. They already ain't doing shit. You already don't like to work for the white man anyway, so you might as well have a matriarchal egalitarian system. But no, the black woman wants to emulate what white people do. Black men want to emulate what white people do. So then they're going to suffer because they don't even have that in their own history. They always had a matriarchal egalitarian system. So that is what the Queen Mothership is. So if the black woman is concerned that are the men are not going to follow it, they're going to have some you're going to have some idiots like the incels and people who are brainwashed by Western patriarchy. You're going to have some men that's going to push vehemently back. My thing is we don't have to deal with them because we're not trying to convince them. It's like the Queen Mothership is not for those type of men. We'll have people who don't need any convincing. That's just like they'll read part 1 and part 2 of the Queen Mothership part. They'll read the Queen Mothership part 2 of Enterprise Architecture, which gives the layout, the schematics of what I'm talking about. It literally gives the layout. And then we just go from there and just build it out. Like we just put all our resources together and just buy some land and build that shit out. Like seriously. And we'll just have an insulated group of us that rebuilds our own society, that has full autonomy. Yes, you'll have men, so of course you'll have men that push back, but they won't be nowhere near. What can they do? It's not like it's affecting them. They want to be in Babylon and infiltrate and be on low vibrations and on the base chakra, fighting with women and men all day and fighting women and talking about passport bro. You let them do that. Who gives a shit? It's like those people are to me are very low vibrational anyway. So it's like I wouldn't want to build anything with them. But for those who see the value in autonomy and see the value in safety nets and their building their own infrastructure, those are the people that you'll want to work with anyways. And in terms of the sisterhood, in terms of women really saying, you know what, this could be something that we need, something we benefit from as black women. We need something that we are completely in control of. That could be great for your families, for your children to raise them in such a structured environment, because structure is very important in the Queen Mothership. It's very structured. It's very, and to be honest, I think that's why black men may give me some pushback on it, because they're so used to this, anything goes in this community, that somebody just coming along and saying, look, this is how you structure out everything in society. Again, it takes a lot to build something. It takes a lot. You just can't, you got to have that discipline. You got to have a working plan. You got to plan, and you have to be very knowledgeable. And it takes time to focus on, okay, well, what kind of things do we need to actually even start a whole urban village? Like, where do we start? Where do we start? Well, somebody has to think all that things through. And, and with me, I have put a lot of work together to where we can get that started. But I think that the fact that there's no bullshitting around, I'm not that type of woman that's just going to just be bullshitting around. So that's why a lot of men will push back, because it's like, damn, I don't have to, I don't really have much excuses anymore. I don't have, I can't use, the white man anymore. It's like, we doing this shit on our own. And that's why they don't like the Queen Mothership, because it's like, there's no excuses to not build. There's just no excuses in a Queen Mothership to not build. And that can be a hard order, a tall order for some men to live up to. Now, they may not have to have a bunch of resources and money, but they're required to have other skills. They're required to have carpentry skills, to have electrician skills, to have plumbing skills, and to put those skills to use in their own community in exchange for like a point system, a service barter economy, as well as monetary. But we're moving away from that. We're moving away, and they're going to be putting people on a social credit system where digital currency, where your shit is dependent upon your social credit score, and they're going to screw black Americans over with that. That's why I'm thinking ahead of that. So a lot of people say, you're so old school. That's so traditional. We're so beyond that now. No, I'm thinking of how do you circumnavigate the fucking social credit digital currency system that's coming. Okay, that's what I'm building out in my mind. Infrastructures like that. And you have to sometimes take it back to the basics to circumnavigate this transhumanism agenda to circumnavigate the things they're doing with our food. Sometimes just growing your own food. They're putting all types of pumping our foods up with all types of hormones and chemicals and stuff. You want to get back to the basics. Just want to go back to the basics in carpentry, building your own house, buying land. Sometimes it is the simple stuff. Sometimes, but then it's the hardcore stuff like our fusion power. I got a whole video on fusion power and antimatter and fucking Kardashev scales. I can get with you when it comes to I'm talking about stuff 100 years from now. I can have a conversation with you on shit that's about 500 years our time. But when it comes to building out the basics of this community, yeah, you're gonna have to start a little more traditional. Then we get there. So if that's a concern, because Black man actually did bring that to my attention, that this sounds so old school. Because I have a very old soul. I'm 31, but I have a very old soul. And he said we're past those old school ways and all that. And I'm thinking like, huh? But that was just to kind of shut me down, because they really don't want nobody knowing about this Queen Motherships thing. And I really believe they got a brotherhood where they all know all about my work. I'm telling you, like these Black men in certain positions and certain brotherhoods and little societies, they know about it. And it's like they're purposely going out of the way to kind of shun me out of certain spaces, or not bring it up, because they don't want the community at large to start to focus on the validity, the logic, the high order thinking that the Queen Mothership matriarchal egalitarian system brings, the enterprise architecture brings. That stuff is embedded within that, and it's high level stuff. And I think that they benefit from selling out the culture, selling out the Black woman, selling out their ass, pretty much selling their soul. They benefit from a system from this system itself, where the Black community is just all over the place, crazy, and they benefit from this white man system, from white supremacy. They do, and a lot of them not going to tell you that. Now, I'm not saying it's every Black man, but I'm saying some of them orders, they benefit from this community of dysfunction. So they benefit from failed patriarchies, and they have taken an oath to suppress the divine matriarchy, and they have taken an oath to suppress the divine feminine and to hold it only for themselves. So they can't have a community at large tapping into that energy. And I truly believe, just from certain men that I've talked with and the way certain men react around me that are in powerful positions, on how they go out of their way to kind of downplay. It's like, don't talk too much. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about the Queen Mothership. Be quiet about it. Don't talk about our pre-colonial history. Be quiet about it. Don't talk about, it's like, just talk about some social justice warrior shit. And that's it. That's all you need to focus on, is these police killings or something. And like, they just want to put me in a box of what I can talk about and what a woman should be talking about. Not no high level system building. Don't talk about that. Don't get no ideas in these niggas' heads. But I'm gonna put these ideas in your head about the Queen Mothership, especially with Black women, because you need a safety net for yourself. If anything, and this Black man, shit, he already talking about he don't want to work for the white man. He don't want to. He's tired of him having an answer to him. He's tired of feeling pressure by society and they suffer from this patriarchy system too. And I've considered that when building a Queen Mothership. Now, if they don't want to participate, they have that right, and we can just do it on our own, ladies. But if you got a couple of them that's like, you know what, I don't benefit from this patriarchy system either, fuck it, then there's room from them in that Queen Mothership. Surely is, because I don't hate men and I don't hate women. I damn sure don't hate Black women. So the book, it outlines a step-by-step on how we would do that infrastructure. And yes, Black women are powerful enough to build their own infrastructure, because no one's going to do it for you as far as men. Okay? Now, they are the builders. They are welcome in the Queen Mothership. But we are very open about being a matriarchal society. And we hold very high standards for the men and the women. You know? And there is no single motherhood allowed in the Queen Mothership. There's not. Now, if there's kids that you got that were prior and you learned your lesson, you course corrector, that's different. But you will be asked to leave if you are in the Queen Mothership and you get pregnant out of wedlock with some dumbass nigga. You will be asked to leave. We let you know up front. It's not like we hiding nothing from you. We letting your ass know right up front. We not tolerating none of that. We not tolerating none of the nonsense that you see in the broader Black community. None of it's going to be tolerated in the Queen Mothership, because we value power, because we value autonomy, and because we value excellence. We want greatness out of our people. We are a great people. We don't have time to be sitting here with some wretched ass bullshit. I wish a nigga like this, the 7 baby mama, 7 children, would try to come up in our shit. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sorry. Even none of the baby mamas can come. Sorry. None of it, because if you was that simple minded, we trying to build a next generation of powerful builders. Powerhouses, men and women, powerhouses. We're trying to literally build the next generation of innovators, inventors, scientists. So we don't have time to breed our genetics with certain ridiculousness. We don't have time to entertain it. It's just so far off our radar. Like, to be honest, this story is so off of my radar too, but I wanted to talk about it because I said, see, this is that shit. You know, and again, in the Queen Mothership, we believe in being in control over our food, over our shelter, over our water. When we work with, you know, we do things by the books. So if we have to work with local municipalities to get the land, to be able, because, you know, you have, in order to structure out like these urban villages and these micro cities, you do have to go through some red tape. You know, not much, but there's some work involved with that. And even, you know, with irrigation, with procuring water, there's certain things that you have to get permits for and stuff. So we understand that. And we're willing to go through that, to build co-ops. But we are very high level in this Queen Mothership, and men and women. So, Black woman, that is your answer to dealing with situations like this. You need your matriarchal egalitarian system back. You've done it for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Black men subconsciously know this. This is why they subconsciously defer to you. They make you the bane of existence in the community, but they also blame you for everything that goes wrong. That, to be honest, that's how melanated people just work. They don't want to face that history, because of Christianity and Islam has obviously had its role in colonization in terms of brainwashing Black Americans and Africans and Caribbeans, or wherever melanated people are. It's completely brainwashed them, you know, to not understand how their own pre-colonial history was matriarchal. And so now you see where Black men, they really want a stab at what that white man has. It's like, I need a patriarchy too. And when he tried to get one, he ended up falling flat on his face, and we all ended up getting enslaved when he overthrew the Queen Mothership. Because again, this was, a lot of stuff is spiritual too. A lot of stuff is spiritual. So when you start to sex traffic your own women and kill your own sibyls and kill your own queen mothers, there's a lot of spiritual energy behind that. And, you know, if you get rid of the civil class who can do curses, who can cause lots of havoc on the other side for the people, literally in the spirit world, that can happen. And then when you give up your own systems for Christianity and Islam, whether it was done through conquering or you just willingly, a lot of Black tribes willingly accepted Islam. And when you talk about the Arabs start the slave trade, who the fuck do you think the Arabs were? You really think those were like traditional, like, you really think that those were like light-skinned people? Those were Black people. Again, we don't want to talk about it. It's like, I don't know what type of person I am, where I go through, I will research some shit that make us uncomfortable. I will go through it. I do not care. I have went through all of that evidence. I know for a fact that Black people started all this. Black people popped all this off. They sure did. And it just backfired like shit. It just backfired. And you know, my thing is, you can course correct from that. If you can really totally get out of this situation, you could totally, but many Black men today, they in these orders, and they have taken oaths. They have taken straight up oaths to keep this system the way it is, and they will not go against it. That's why they really don't like this Queen Mothership shit. They don't want it to get any the wings in certain atmospheres, because it's the oath that the bloodline oath that they took to keep this corruption in place. That's what it is. So, to be honest, sometimes I get the sense that I wonder, and I wish I could ask, maybe I will ask Black men one day. I will go around and just ask them, like, would they rather live under a system of white supremacy and answer to white men than build with their women in an egalitarian structure? Like, that's the question I have for Black men. Would you rather live under white supremacy, under a white patriarchy, or would you rather be able to build in an egalitarian matriarchy structure with your woman? Like, which one would you rather do as a Black man? Can you answer that for me, Black men? If you're listening. If you're listening, which I'm pretty sure you clicked off a minute ago when I was tearing out a new asshole. Would you rather, like, what's your thoughts on that? Would you rather have to answer to a bunch of a whole nother patriarchy and not have your own infrastructures, or would you rather build one with your woman in an egalitarian structure where you're not dominated, where you have power, where is structure, where the women are definitely not dominated, the men are definitely not dominated either, and where it's everybody's has their function and goals, and we have certain committees, councils, like we literally have a water committee, there is a housing plan committee, so there's a land committee. Like I really broke this shit down in terms of what they do too, not just like, oh, land committee, like, what do they do, what are they doing? They have a job to do on a weekly basis of what do we build on that land, on how we procure what we need for that land after we buy it, you know. And there's certain individuals that would be on that committee that would keep the rest of the community abreast on what goes on. Just like you have a water committee in terms of the irrigation, and then you have the defense committee, then you have the councils, the actual Formidable Men Council, who's our defense team and who also has high order conversations about the community itself, in terms of what needs to be done, things that need to be planned. And the Council of the Queen Mothership, they also do the cultural planning, organizing planning. They do a lot. And you have the elders. Like, it's an actual structure, you know. Would you rather have a system like that where you can actually be equal and have respect, or would you rather live in white supremacy structure with no respect? Like, I really wonder that. Like, I really, sometimes I'll be thinking, like, I think they would rather, I think they don't like Black women that much, or they have such a resentment of Black women so much that they would rather just live under that white man versus build with their own woman. I wonder if, like, do you resent the Black woman that much? And I'm like, damn, like, you was really upset that you had lived in the egalitarian matriarchal system for thousands and thousands of years. Is that the reason why you don't want to do it anymore? Because you really didn't like that system back in the day? Was it that bad? Like, I'm really trying to get answers here, because it's like you really just do not want, you really want women, you really want this Black woman to be beneath you so bad. Like, you want this Black woman to feel inferior to you, and she gives birth to you. Like, if you study like the laws of electromagnetism and the true structure of women and men and nature, women are not beneath men in nature. Females are not beneath males in nature. So it's like, why would you let religion brainwash y'all like that if you come from an egalitarian matriarchal history? Why would you just throw that all away and not study your own shit? Why would you do that? If the Queen Mothership offers to share the power equally in terms of governance, it has clauses set up where the women cannot dominate the men and they cannot dominate the women, but they have positions of power, and they talk about, and we're talking about building parallel infrastructures Why does that not appeal to y'all more than the system that y'all live in now, where you have no power with anybody could just run up on you and shoot your ass? The police could just come up on you and just take you out and nothing can happen. Why don't you want to build those parallel infrastructures? Are you scared? Are you scared they're gonna come after you? Is that what it is? Like, do you feel like if you talk the way I talk is too radical? Like, or you're talking like, you're gonna upset the power structure, you're gonna get a target on our backs because you're talking about building parallel infrastructures and going off grid and building your own societies and cities, and buying some land and doing your own little thing, and we're not gonna rely on a dominant society anymore. You're talking about complete independence within the society, and that's makes me scared. Is that what you think, black man? Is it making you scared when I talk like that? I need to know, because the reason why I need to know is because if you tell me that you don't want anything to do with the Queen Mothership, that's fair. That's you're right. You have that right. Absolutely. But then I'll just pivot, we'll just do this with the black woman. We'll make this a secret society and we'll just do it with black women on a voluntary basis. And any woman that want to partake in a Queen Mothership, they can, we'll do it that way. If you guys are just that scared, if you would rather just live in a system of white supremacy and answer to other men versus build your own system with your woman. That's the question I have for you. So that's something to think about. Like, okay, what is she talking about? Just I'm going to do some informational videos on the Queen Mothership enterprise architecture. That way you guys will know what the hell you're getting into, because the book is out there, but I have to break that down better than just say, oh, go get the book, because that's not enough. Like, you need to know exactly what this is in this system so that you can make an executive decision. Okay, that system compared to what I'm doing now, Queen Mothership or living under another man's patriarchy, which one do I want? And for those who don't have those questions, who come from matriarchal indigenous cultures, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried that I don't have that question for you. I'm not asking you that of you. But for the men that have been pushing back, because I have gotten pushback, from men. I have been called feminist. I have been called mammy. I have been called bitter. All types of things for simply saying, black men, let's build your own infrastructure. Hey, I have this Queen Mothership ideas. Let's talk about this. And they just get like, But then there's some men that just they like it. They don't care. So I don't approach this situation like, oh, all the men are gonna hate this, all the men are gonna like it. That's not the case. That's irrational. You're gonna have some that like it, you're gonna have some that don't. And they have the right to not want to be bothered with the Queen Mothership. Maybe they feel it's too radical of a system. It's too much, and it's gonna get them killed or something. I don't know. Maybe they feel like it's too radical of a system, and that they will feel more comfortable in the matrix. They feel more comfortable being dominated by the white man. That's their prerogative. They have the answer for that. There's consequences for everything. Just like with the Queen Mothership. We know that that they may come for us. We just don't care. We just literally don't care. And we don't plan on bothering anybody or stepping on anybody's toes. We want something for us, for the Black American. We truly want something that is for us. Okay. So, micro cities for Black women, infrastructures for Black women. That is what my focus is on right now. And it starts with reprogramming the Black woman's mind. The Black woman needs to reprogram her mind on how she feels about her womb, how she feels about herself, how she feels about her soul. Because right now she's just as brainwashed as that Black man. She sure is. And we're going to need some leaders. We're going to need some builders. We're going to need some warriors. We're going to need people who are fearless for this project. We're going to need those who take responsibility, those who are loyal. We're going to need those type of people in the Queen Mothership, you know, and we're going to have to move as a unit. This is like once you win, you're family, you know, like we have to build with one another. We have to build with those who we resonate with. Okay, but this Black woman, she has to see value in her womb. She has to not put herself in these situations. When a man tell you, I don't want the child, believe them. Okay, those who are cowards, who want to live under a whole system of white supremacy instead of build with their women, it's a weeding system. We get to find out who's the real men and who's not. You get to find out with the Queen Mothership, you get to find out who's a real man and who's not, who's really about that life, who's not, who's willing to build, who's not. You get to find that out. You get to see who really about that life as a woman. And those the men you need to be going after. Not no Pookie and Ray Ray and he. Do you think everybody gonna be like a fucking Tupac and Malcolm X and all this stuff? Those are rare gems. The average Black man don't give a fuck about the Black community. They don't. They ain't building shit for this Black community. They ain't building nothing for you, Black woman. They not. And again, you can look at your community and see the proof of that. You can delude and lie to yourself all you want. You can delude it. You can be delusional all you want. You can be delusional all you want, but the proof is in the pudding. And like I said, they want a system where Black women are relegated last and deemed inferior, which is why they bash the image and blame you for everything. They want to keep this system the same, but as long as you get to be the scapegoat, Black woman, and they get to ride off with no accountability. This man got 7 kids and 7 baby mamas, and he talking about he not taking care of them. All the women is stuck with the bastard baby, but he's off the hook and he's refusing to take care of him, and the community want to uphold and praise him like he's some beacon of hope, and talk about you need to submit to that. I ain't submitting to that goddamn shit. You out of your damn mind. A nigga like that, man, get buried in the dirt. I just don't see anything worthy about a creature that will do that to their own children. 7 kids and 7 baby mamas, and you're not taking care of not one of these kids, and I'm supposed to be sitting up here acting like this is a man I gotta respect? Y'all out of y'all mind. And because this community is so male identified, I saw a bunch of Black women saying, you know what, he right. What do you mean he's right? Yeah, okay. He has a right to tell these women that he don't want no children. Of course he has that right. And these women still were stupid enough to still keep the baby. You know. But my thing is, why wouldn't he as a man get a vasectomy, whatever that thing is called, or take some neem, or wear a condom? Why is he not doing that? And yes, the woman is the one that has the baby for 9 months and has to breastfeed and has to. So I do think the womb management should be on point. The womb management has to be a thing. But he is not off the hook. He is not off no motherfucking hook. And this Black women was sitting there trying to say, oh, you know what, I agree with him. Like, as if these women, like, okay, I don't agree with none of these motherfuckers. All these motherfuckers are degenerates, if you ask me. Ain't none of them qualified to be in the Queen Mothership. Ain't none of them qualified to even represent Black American. Hell no, they can't be our motherfucking culture. They can't represent none of us. Now, I don't care how rough it sounds. Y'all can get mad at me and try to demonize me and say that I'm wrong because I'm not about to glorify no nigga with 7 baby mamas and 7 children that he just said he not taking care of. He just said, I can see if I'm gonna take responsibility. I would actually be less harsher if he was taking care of all 7 kids. This man is not taking care of none of the kids. None of them. And I'm supposed to sit up there as a woman and sit up here and act like I haven't seen that situation before. I've seen that situation before in my own fucking family with niggas that do that. I was adopted. I've seen wretched ass shit, 10 kids and 10 baby mamas and all that shit. I've seen that shit. I've seen it. So I don't want to hear that this is just a one-off situation. You got a 72% out of wedlock rate. Bullshit. You have stereotypes. Generalizations generally apply. Stereotypes don't just come out of a fucking vacuum. We all talk about this baby mama stuff. Yo, black men always talking about, oh, you single mothers and all this stuff. They're always blaming things on single mothers. So why the fuck would you, as a black woman, put yourself in that position? Why are you not bossing up on this community and detonating this fucking wretched ass bullshit in this community and say, you know what? We're doing the Queen Mothership. We're not allowing no more that trill ass music. We're not allowing drugs in our community. We're not allowing violence in our community. We're doing everything all over again because y'all niggas can't handle that. And those who don't want to be involved, die. Those who don't want to be involved, y'all go do your own thing. Y'all can keep living in the system of white supremacy and getting dominated. But we about to sit up here and build our own shit with like-minded people. That's what we about to do. Why are you not doing that as black women? Why are you not thinking to do that? What is wrong with your brain where you're not thinking that you need that? What is wrong with your brain where you don't see the value in taking control of your own community? Where you're steering this community in a certain direction you want to. Why do you think the men got to do that? Why have you convinced yourself that men got to do all these things that women, that you have always had a history of doing? Why are you waiting for them to do it? You see what you get. 7 baby mamas, 7 baby daddies, 7 kids. Where do you see this man? Do you think that this is the type of man that's going to lead you? That this is the type of man that's going to sit up there and build you an infrastructure? Build you a home, take care of you. Do you see that these Pookie and Ray Rays, these type of men is going to do that? These same men that play Kevin Samuels all day. Are you kidding me? They're not going to do shit. So why? So don't even build with them. Build with the ones that want to do it, and if they not going to step up, do it yourself for yourself. That's all I'm saying is build your own infrastructures that you can benefit from as women. You have to do that yourself. The black man ain't gonna build you nothing that you gonna benefit from. The white man not gonna build you nothing that you won't benefit from. If they was gonna build it by now, they had 500 years to do it. They had 100 years. Black men had 100 years since the civil rights era started in the 60s. It's been about 50 years. Where are they going to build your infrastructure for you, black woman, that you benefit from? They're building the infrastructure of pimp-archy that they benefit from. They get access to your womb without building you anything. And then they shame you into submission, call you mammy, call you bitter, call you feminist if you speak out against anything that they're doing wrong. This is what they setting up. They setting up a system that they benefit from. They get to go from house to house, get women pregnant, all types of bullshit, not take care of children, live off of women with Section 8. Live off of women with one of them 6-figure jobs, not bring anything to the table, tell you to lower your standards, tell you that you need to do this, you need to be friendly, you need to be feminine, and they get to run off but not be masculine because they still answer to the white man for everything. But they don't ever want you to bring up how they're living in another man's patriarchy. They never want you to focus on that. Never. They only want you to focus on everything that you're doing wrong. You did this. You're a baby mama. You're this. You're a single mother. You're overweight. You're this. You're that. And nothing that they do ever gets under the microscope. You got to be out of your motherfucking mind. That's the system of pimp-archy. You don't benefit from that system. They want to do polygamy. Oh, they want multiple women, but don't have the wealth to take care of those women. Don't have the resources to take care of multiple families, but want you to settle for polygamy, where all the women are working. And they get to sit at home and play video games. Are you kidding me? I've seen situations like this. They want to convince you of doing the bare minimum while you get the blame of everything. That's the system that they setting up. Nothing that you benefit from. Nothing. You don't benefit. What incentive is there for you to even do the things that they asking you? You don't get nothing out of it. I don't get nothing out of it. I still got to deal with white supremacy. Until I see these niggas fighting that, I don't want to hear it. Until I see them bossing up against that, until I see them finding a way to get up out of their subjugation, then I can respect it. And I respect certain black men that are doing their part. I do. I truly do. There are some black men that totally got my respect. And they did the right thing. They taking care of their families. They doing every day. They putting their best foot forward to make sure that they're independent and have autonomy. And they take care of their black women, taking care of their black kids. I'm not talking about those men. And those men, to be honest, honestly think that they're rare and few, because you got black men that take care of their kids and their women, but I'm talking about also the black man who's saying every day, how do I get independence out of this matrix? Those are the type of men that get my respect. The niggas like Thomas Sankara and Darren Sills. Those type of black men have my heart. Those are the ones that you would see me give praise to. When they say, why you always say bad things about us? Is there any good things you like? I'll tell you the black men that I like. I don't have no problem telling you the black men that I like. I like Claude Anderson. He's too old for me. But those are the type of black men that I would desire if he was, my age range. Somebody like Claude Anderson, somebody like Thomas Sankara, somebody like Darren Sills. Okay, bosses, niggas that really step up in this world and say they're gonna be independent. They're gonna do what they have to do to survive and get out of this matrix, get off of this system, and take care of their families. And they're gonna love their children. They're gonna raise their children in the structure, even if they are patriarchal. Even if they are, yes, those men got my respect. Those men get my respect, and I've made videos on black men giving them praise. But the rest of these niggas, a nigga like this, 7 baby mama, 7 kids, no way. They do not get my respect. I don't have nothing for them. I don't have nothing for the women. I don't have nothing for the children. I'm done with the wretchedness. I want excellence and greatness from the black American, because I know that's what they are. I know the God in them. I know how special the black American is. So no, I'm not tolerating nonsense. I'm not tolerating nonsense in the Queen Mothership. No. I expect certain behaviors. I expect certain structures. I expect certain I expect a certain level of orderliness from the black American, because, be honest, this black American knows how to build things. They do. But when we have this system on top of us that is trying to 24/7 distract us from doing the things we need to do. That's what's happening. Okay? And again, black woman, a lot of this is going to be on you. I know you say, well, I'll just divest. You still don't have a structure for yourself that you benefit from. You need a structure that you benefit from. You need infrastructure that you benefit from, black woman. Completely. So you need to build it out yourself, whether you dating whoever. I don't care if you're dating an African. I don't care if you're dating a motherfucking another black woman. I don't care if you're dating a black man. I don't care who you're dating. I don't care if you're dating a white man. You still need to build an infrastructure for yourself. You need a sisterhood. You need a matriarchal egalitarian system, even if men are involved or not. It's not about men. Even if the man does not want to be involved with nothing that you're doing, who cares? Do it for yourself. That's what I'm trying to drill in your head. You need a system for yourself. Okay? We're trying to get power and move up out of this stratification caste system. I know you got to be tired of being at the bottom of this caste system. All these communities in our community with nail businesses and Asian hair stores and all this crap. We don't own that shit. I'm tired of it. These laundry mats, we need to own all of that. No, we need our own stuff. We need our own infrastructure. Like, every community has ethnic enclaves. They got all types of stuff. They got little Chinatown, little Korea, and all that stuff. I want something like that for us. Hey, I'm not knocking little Chinatown. I don't desire to infringe upon nobody's efforts in building their own shit. No community's efforts, whether it's Asian, Latino, white, whatever. I don't care. But don't try to infringe on my people's ability to build their own shit either. Don't try to infringe on their ability to build for their own. Just like how you got an ethnic enclave. Ain't nothing wrong with us having an ethnic enclave either. Of the righteous black Americans who are the supreme beings of this community. Only the best. Only the best, though. I'm not sitting up here about to be guilt tripped. You gotta look out for Pookie and Ray Ray and those who you gotta look out for them too, and then you gotta look out for them because they got the structures and they were down and out by white supremacy. I don't give a shit about that. I don't care. Go to another person that cares, because I don't give a shit. I care about building with people that think like me. That's what I care about today. Okay? And I care about getting our just due. That's what I care about. Okay? But I'm not building with nobody that's not going to put forth the effort themselves, that don't give a shit, that don't care about their own community, that do not. I'm not doing that. I'm not being guilt tripped into none of that. I mean, coming over here to some, remember when they did this to us? I know everything they did to us. I know everything they did. I did the Black American series, 20 videos, 20 hours of me going through our whole history. For the last 500 years, I know what the fuck happened to the Black American in this country. I know. But what I'm saying today is that I'm not going to make excuses for anything that we went through. I just want the best out of the best. That's what I want. Okay? It's a new day, black woman. Okay, we're dealing with the quantum plane. And we're dealing with the age of Saturn. We're dealing with the crone mother. That is the crone mother, the egalitarian matriarchal being. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is a raw power energy. This is dark matter. This is why I was sent here. This is why I am here to actually usher in this day. Okay? And I'm not the only avatar that's here. There's other enlightened beings that is on this planet Earth trying to wake up humanity. It's not even about black or white or colors. It's like we're trying to wake up humanity. But some of us have missions to work with certain groups. Some of us, we see the Black Americans, they have been getting the raw end of the stick in America. So that's not fair. So yes, we work with certain groups more than others. So with my case, yes, I'm a humanitarian, but I also know that there's a stratification caste system going on in America, and which has relegated the Black American to the very bottom. And that is unfair. So yes, I'm working with the Black Americans in this lifetime to help them get into better positions so that they can value themselves, compete, and so that they can have something for themselves, have their own autonomy, be free, have their own free will, so they don't time loop again. That's another thing. And so that they can see the value in themselves, see the beauty in themselves. That is what we're doing. Okay? So this is not the time for the Black woman to continue to let their womb gate portal be a fucking dumping ground. A stumping ground for Black men. 72% out of wedlock rate? Are you kidding me? No. Don't let your womb be... Your womb is a gate portal from different dimensions to the third dimension. Or fifth dimension, however you want to look at it. It's not a stumping ground. It's not just someone to just go dumpster diving, and just dropping off sperm when they know they don't want no damn kids. That's not what your womb is. Your womb ain't no goddamn dumping ground. Why is you acting like... Why is you doing that? See your womb as a portal gate. It's a gateway. It's a stargate. You don't let anybody just in there. If you want to do some free fucking and low level fucking, wear a condom. And I know people get excited. I watch porn sometimes. I see what they be doing on those porns. That looks exciting. Sometimes I say, man, I wish I had the guts to do some, I don't have no guts to do half of that. Damn sure not on camera, let alone, just in the privacy where nobody knows about. I'm much too shy for that. But I'm like, obviously fantasy is better than the act of perversion itself. And when I see those pornos, I said, man, that girl's really bold there. I'm like, my thing is, it's all on camera for the whole world to see. I could never put myself in that position where it's just all on camera. But I get where you have this animalistic nature, like this nature where it can just be like, pleasure oriented. It's just completely in the left hand path. I get it where it's like, ooh, you want to engage in some freaky shit. You want to, I get it. But no. Remember the consequences of just engaging in those nights of passion and all that. And this your womb is the gate portal. But if every now and then you want to get freaky, please wear a condom. Please use some contraceptive. Do something. Do not do this. And I don't recommend women. Me personally, I'm big on soul ties. I'm big on energy. So I personally don't like to do a lot of low level free fucking. But a lot of women do it. A lot of men do it. Especially men. They don't see sex the same as women. Not in this society. So, you do you, but just remember, that your womb is a stargate portal, and you gotta protect it. You cannot let niggas like this run up in you raw. Hell no, not raw, dumping off cum. Hell no. No. I never let a nigga run up in me raw. No. So, they saying that we give life. But another thing that these Black men do, and I know a nigga like him probably think like this. They say they give the seed to life, and they want credit, but in the same breath, they make excuses as to why they won't take care of the seed that they spawn. So I just don't like how this nigga got zero accountability, but the Black woman is the one that gets that does not have an excuse. The black man gets to blame white supremacy, but the black woman doesn't get that same grace. And that's another reason why this community is damned, because you don't give black women grace and compassion. You don't give her grace and compassion for the things that she has to deal with, why she may overeat, why she may be dealing with certain things and traumas in her life. Everybody got to give compassion to this black man, but don't nobody want to give compassion to the black woman who has to deal with a lot of shit. A lot of shit. It's hard being a black woman. I love being a woman. I love being a melanated woman, but I also know certain knowledge. I have a very high level of consciousness. I know the power of the black woman. Black women are very extremely powerful. Don't ever let them fool you. They may be acting all weak, like they don't know what to do, or acting like they need men to lead them. These motherfuckers is powerful, very powerful. But they haven't tapped into their godhood, and they have their energy is laying dormant because this black community is suppressing the divine feminine so much. Because they want everybody to be male identified. They want this pimp-archy. And that is why the community, to be honest, is on its last leg, because you won't release the divine dark feminine. That the energy that is within black women that is dormant is the energy that is actually needed to get out of white supremacy. We don't ever want to talk about that, though, because black men, to be honest, they don't know how to control that energy. They're actually kind of scared of it. They're actually kind of scared of the divine dark feminine. Not the divine feminine, the dark. That energy, dark energy. This is why we have a lot of religious brainwashing, because black women tapping into the dark goddess, tapping into the primordial mothers is absolutely what will help this community. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? But the black woman lets that energy stay dormant. She suppresses it. She's ashamed of it. She's brainwashed to never acknowledge it, and to just go to church and Jesus got it. Jesus take the wheel and all this nonsense. Knowing they got some white Jesus in their house somewhere, or some white statue somewhere. Okay. So no, you ain't get no power with that shit. No, sorry. And Jesus was talking about the black woman in the Nag Hammadi text, and was talking about the melanated woman and the power of the divine feminine and going into the dark feminine. So, people want to stay lost. They got to stay lost. But that is the energy in this community that must be released. It must be released, and that is what the Queen Mothership is about. Now, black men, I tell you don't have to be afraid of that energy. You benefit from that energy. You do. If the black woman decides to cover you, you will benefit from it. Now, if she takes that out on you, that's another story. That's why I say you don't want to get on the right side of justice, because this Chrome Mother Saturn is here. And it's not Kronos and it's not Satan. We're talking about the true matriarchs, okay? That y'all turned around and made men. Now, y'all are shocked because you done got your equations wrong. The equations in your Bible are wrong. The equations in Islam is wrong. Your equations are wrong. And you're actually starting to see that play out, especially in these brotherhoods. I know y'all see it play out. Like, whoa, we had all the equations wrong. Like, we try to switch it and it's not working. We try to switch everything over to the masculine and it's still biting us in our ass today. And those who know, you got to be at a very high level. You understand what I'm talking about right now. When you try to switch the laws of electromagnetism, you started switching text or religious text or religions to the occult sciences, switched it all. And the equations are still wrong. And the dark mother wins. In the end, the primordial mothers still win. They were not men. The sibyls were not men. The people that wrote the book of Psalms, are you kidding me? So if I'm losing you, I'm talking to a certain type of man right now that knows. Only certain people would know what I'm talking about. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, your equations were wrong. So yeah, we need the Chrome Mother. She's here, regardless if you guys want to admit that or not. It's a new day. Okay? So black women, it is your time. It is your time to shine. I can't stress enough how you are underplaying your value. You are downplaying your value. It happens. If we go through a lot and you've been brainwashed. I've been brainwashed with all, but I've been coming out of my programming. And so we want us to come out of our programming as women. And black women, it's time to give birth to things other than bastard children. It's time. Don't think you always have to have a birth with some baby. Okay? And being a single mother. As a woman, think of birth in a cosmic interdimensional sense. Seriously. You can get pregnant with anything. Ideas, books, inventions. You can get pregnant with new businesses, new arts, crafts projects. You can give birth with anything. And you use the womb gate to manifest through sex magic with yourself. Okay? You are a walking incubator. How do you think, you think like, I'll give you an example. And I'm not bragging, because I still feel like I'm not where I need to be. But, I'll give you an example. And I'm not bragging or anything like that. But the process that I use for like doing some of the things that I've done, and I still have a lot more to do. And I don't feel like I've completed nearly half of what I need to do on this planet. But just a little bit I've done. I wrote 14 books in less than 2 years. What the process for me getting that done or something like that, as I saw myself pregnant with the book, the idea, the book. So it's like, okay, I am pregnant with this book. And every day I write, I see that as a gestation period of fueling the baby. The book is the baby. I'm fully fueling this idea. I write every day. I don't give a damn if it's 30 minutes a day. Right? Every day for them 30 minutes or whatever. And then when it gets published, that's the birth. That is the actual birth. I do what I love. Okay? Think of it like that. And also, wait to have children. Okay? Look at your projects as babies. And another book that I would like you to read is the Nakhti Self-Redox for Black Women. That breaks down the phenomenon of how Black women are subconsciously programmed to be put in a baby mama position in the first place. Yes, there's a programming behind that. I break that down. I break it down. And what produces the male-identified indoctrination, I break that whole thing down. Like, how do these women become mammies and mules and all this ride or die stuff? And, there's a programming behind that. None of that benefits you. It benefits Black men, but don't benefit you to have such low standards for manhood in your own community. Okay, so this is the price that you pay for being male-identified and not looking out for yourself. 7 baby mama, 1 deadbeat dad. Okay? And going into this Chrome Mother Saturn, there will be severe consequences for Black men who engage in practices such as these, who just think it's okay to just do that. It's not okay what he did. It's severe soul trading, time loop with illegal mind swiping, which resulted in another lifetime on this planet. That is what he subjected them children to. And it's just not respectable in my eyes. I see this from a spiritual side. They don't have the consciousness to escape it, let alone the knowledge. Most human beings on the planet don't even know what the fuck is really going on with this, what this dimension is really about, what this simulation is really about. And some of us get privy to it and we have to shut up, and we're not even under oath. We haven't taken, and we're not in part of any secret society, but we still can't tell you everything, even if we on the outside, because it's just that serious. Okay, they'll come after us too, even if we didn't. even if we get spiritual knowledge, and because God tells us through dreams, or because we get shown visions through various entities about what all this is about, we still can't come out on a whim and say, "Hey guys, look what I was told." Trust me, I tried it, and they almost got my ass out the paint. Okay, so we must let the dead bury the dead, but at the same time, don't, while we're trying to raise the vibration of this planet and humanity and our people who are being subjugated, and I have a lot of compassion for Black Americans. I do. I totally do. We're just moving into another paradigm, and this paradigm is dying. The paradigm of white supremacy is dying. The paradigm of the stratification caste system is dying. The paradigm of patriarchy is dying. It's all just dying, and I'm ahead of it. I'm ahead of what are the infrastructures after this. I'm way ahead of that. So pandering to your ego is what got you in this position today. No. You do not get in power from me pandering to your ego. That is not going to get you in power. I will not do it. I will not pander to the black man's ego, knowing that's giving him a fake sword, giving him fake ammunition, and he will not be able to go and use that to compete in the real world with real patriarchs. That's not what you do. I'm not doing that to the black man. That's actually the worst thing you can do to a black man. There is no hatred for the black man in my heart. Actually, I have compassion. I have compassion for this black woman. What I ask is you have the same amount of compassion for this black woman as she has for you. That's what I ask. That's what I demand. That you respect this black woman just as much as she respects you. That you have compassion for this black woman, and she has compassion for you. That's what I'm saying. But no, just because I was hard on you in this video, do not mean I hate you. Same with the black woman. I do not hate the black woman. I think that the black woman is a glorious being that has been selling herself short. That has not been that's not been standing up for herself. That has been completely brainwashed. But I don't hate this black woman. I have lots of compassion for the black woman. And I do see her as a marvelous creature. But she's going to have to stand up as well. Both of you guys are just going to have to stand up a little bit. Both of you guys will have to do a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. You're going to have to stand up and figure out a way to work together, which I have always been focused on. I am not focused on separating you guys. That's not